What's up, YouTube? Back at the barn again today, and we're gonna try and finish up this hydraulic pump. So I got everything taken apart, got the new gaskets kind of here and semi laid out, but got some scraping to do on this one, get this cleaned up. Then we can start putting the plungers and springs and balls back in. I think I'm gonna reuse all of that. I know it came with some extra stuff, but I don't think I need it because nothing looks that bad. Everything looks to be in pretty good shape. So a little bit of cleanup. I don't know how much of that I'm gonna film, but we'll come back when we start putting this all back together. And then hopefully we can get it back on the tractor and no more leaks. Then, if time allows, I think I'm gonna start trying to mess around with making some axle spacers here. I just gotta find my axle stop. I got it over there on the bench, I see it. So we got the material for that. We can at least try and get one side of these wheels laid out. I do need to pull that rotor off. I have two other rotors that we gotta put on there because we are gonna be cutting off all of this bracketry. But I wanna get the wheel kind of centered so it's not walking around before we get into fabbing where the brake's gonna go and where that's gonna live. So let me get some cleanup done. Everything kind of cleaned up here, so what I'm going to do next is lay out the gasket here and the balls. So this should drop on here. Thought it was directional. Something kind of like this. Come on. That should go right like that. Yeah, not straight enough. Just trying to line up all these holes the best way I can. Just like that. Then we have the balls that go into here. Then on the plate itself, I forgot about the springs. So springs, these guys, the non-tapered ones go in first, then the balls sit on top. Uh-oh, there it is, dropped one. So springs, then the balls. Then our top plate. And this has little tapered springs on it. The smaller end goes down over the pins. We'll line this up with the alignment mark. But they should drop right into these holes. Back to our spring plate. Spring plate goes up, but it should line up with the notch in the gasket, just like that. Where's our little screw dealio? Flathead here. All right. Got that side tightened back down. Then we're gonna move over here, and we got 6 balls that I just put in, but I'll drop them right back in. These go into the seats. Do not put them in the threaded holes. But we get the 6 of those that drop in there. Now I gotta figure out the gasket arrangement and how we're gonna drop all of these together. So let me get one of these gaskets prepped. I think these are the same, but let me lay it out first. So we got our plate on, and I think we should be good to kind of line this up on here now. Make sure these springs drop into where the balls sit. And this might have actually been part of the issue, because when I look at this, I think this gasket might be too big. Look at this again. There's an alignment section. Line that up with the other ones, like we've been doing over here. But this press fits in. It just seems like it's not gonna drop all the way into this recess, which to me would cause a gap. So I might have to trim the excess off of this gasket a smidge, unfortunately. Oh, maybe I don't. I don't know now. I feel like this is supposed to drop in there, but maybe the housing? Let me try this without the gasket and see. Yeah. I don't love that. I think these gaskets might be a little big. What do I do here? Should we try it? Do I have a way to trim a tiny bit off of this gasket? Let me try cutting one. See what happens here. This might be a bad idea, and I might end up having to redo this, but that's a really thick gasket with metal lining. So I think I'm just gonna try and bolt this in first and see what happens. If this works, great. If not, and that's still the source of the leak, then I'll readdress that. Did I grab the wrong bolt? Come on now. Looks like this plate shifted a tiny bit. And we tightened it up. That looks a little better. Well, it's together. Now, we'll come back to these, drop these pistons in. And then we should be good to just reassemble the housing. I'm going to reuse the O-ring because this side was dry. Try and get to the two that I can get started first. Come on. All right, we were able to get 2 bolts started. Kind of fighting the hydraulic pressure of those pistons from any of the residual oil right now. Which tells me it should be okay, I think. Let me snug these down. All right. I think that ought to do it. So one more turn around on these. Everything's still covered in oil, despite cleaning them. This is my concern here. I don't know if that's the correct gasket, but, oh, and the top. I'm guessing the top's probably gonna leak a little bit out of that speedo drive. But let's throw this on and see what happens. I think that gasket needs to be trimmed for sure, but it's a very thick gasket. I can show you here. Thick, metal lined. I don't know how I'm gonna cut that. Or maybe I need to get a different one that'll fit a little bit better. But I think we're good to go throw this thing back on the tractor. What am I gonna lose? Everything? As long as it's not my coffee or the GoPro, we should be okay. Come on. Oh, there goes the coffee. So close. All right, now we should be ready to start laying this stuff back out. It's O-ring seals down on here, so I'm not worried about that one. Take this out of here. And then I stashed the bolts for this over on the side, just so we didn't lose them. And I think we're 5 bolts away. Then I gotta figure out how to bleed this depending on how much we actually lost. So, let's start with gasket, O-rings, pump. Ooh, we got another gasket to scrape, don't we? I really hope this fixes the leak. I mean, I guess the hardest part's taking it apart the first time, so I'm not really too worried if I need to take it off again. Not a ton of work involved, but that gasket thing's kind of bugging me. Also don't know where I'm supposed to find parts for this. I mean, sure, it's available online, I would assume. They made millions of these tractors, I think. It's a bummer when you get a brand new kit and the gaskets don't fit. That's all. Okay. Let's give this a shot. So the cam gear should mesh up with this. These can come out. Just have these here for placeholders. And then we get to wrestle this thing back in. So we've got O-ring, 2 studs, and then a gasket that needs to get put on behind here. See if I can get a bolt in here to hold the gasket in place. There's one. Come on, line up. Oh, my finger. Just like that. Sacrifice your finger and pinch it on the end of the motor. But it's kind of odd. You're dropping 3 parts down here in order to hold that last bit up. Come on. Get that stud that pulled out started first. Get our nuts going on here. And oh, I should just be able to snug this stuff down. I think. What size were these? Big, I thought. 11/16 or something. Oh, everything's oily. Everything is always oily. Trying to avoid the lake of oil I have underneath here too. What the hell? Five-eighths on one of these? Really? Fine, I'll use hand tools. Maybe. Killing me. Making me use extensions and things. It's not what I wanted to do at all. And at least we can get the top two. Nice and easy. Sweet. Connected. Then we're going to need to pull off one of these two, maybe both. up here. I don't know which one of these is the bleeder. Let me research that a little bit more. One of those two I think needs to get loosened for a bleeder passage. So I'll look that up while I wipe down the tools and then figure out how we get into the back of the tractor and fill this thing up with some more fluid. I'm making an executive decision that it's probably this one that is the bleeder. So we'll start here. And then we need to fill this thing up because it is pretty low. Obviously this needs to go back on, so maybe we'll just do that real quick too. Might as well. Before I forget. And then I don't know how much fluid is actually left in here, but I think we should just fire it up. Maybe. It's working. Look at that oily mess. So we got plenty of fluid coming through there. Would have been nice if that was there on the oil pan. Anybody tell if it's leaking from the gasket seal or if it's just leaking from everywhere? Not the prettiest oil. That wasn't the brightest, was it? Could have at least planned for a little bit of a mess. Didn't expect Niagara Falls to be pouring out of there. But we got fluid up there real quick. Way more than I expected, having taken apart this whole pump. Let's try that again. Come on. No idea how much gas is in here. I know he said it was really low when he dropped it off. Oh. Helped if you turn the gas on too. I think that's fixed. This was just geysering from this seal before. Let's see if they still work. I know I definitely need to add because we're very low. right, let's add some oil to this thing. They're very slow. It's working, but that just tells me we gotta bleed it. Set this up. Let's add some oil. So, top this thing off with oil, which I think it's that big giant filler plug underneath the seat over here. Oh boy. Make it real inconvenient to get to everything. And maybe we'll actually pop this sickle bar off today. Okay. Couldn't have made the seat a drain plug just past the seat. Wouldn't that have been nice? There's a lot, and it's a 5-gallon jug, so let's see what I got for funnels and things. You work? Ooh. Oh, damn it. Damn it, damn it. I might have a funnel in the car. Let's see how big of a mess we're gonna make here. Oh God. Oh God. Bad, bad, bad. Wasn't supposed to shift like that. Whew. Well, that's not helpful. Do I have to do a funnel into a funnel here? I need to upgrade my funnel choices. Maybe there. Stay. What a pain. I have so much cleaning up to do today. Ugh. It'd be nice if this would just stay still. Jesus Christ. I'm on a roll today. We're gonna go the slow way. See if that helps at all. Better. Still seems a little slow. the pump up here, shooting a ton of air out, so we'll let that just kind of run and drip for a minute until I start seeing some of that red fluid come out. See it just kind of bleeding. We're getting a pretty good stream now. Oh, big bubbles. I think we need more fluid. Bit of a coolant leak too. All right, more oil. Am I even registering on this dipstick? Don't know how accurate that one is. Let's put more in. Let's just pour a lot in, actually. I'm gonna keep filling. We'll be back. Okay, so quick little update. I was messing around with this for a while. Man, I got such a big mess to clean up. Oil everywhere from running and trying to bleed this pump. I'm an idiot. I filled the rear end. I thought this was all one giant massive cavity. It's not. So we topped off the trans, got that drain sight plug. I just went through and rechecked all the levels. I definitely overfilled the rear end a bit, so we're gonna have to come back through, pop this drain plug and bleed that off once I get this part set up. And then the hydraulics are right here. I'm an idiot, don't know anything about tractors, don't have a service manual, so I'm kind of winging it. This, I believe, is what we need to fill. So let me grab a funnel. I just ran and grabbed some new oil, and we'll add some fluid to that. I think there's like a weird little like crossover thing of some sort, or one seal that separates all of these passages, but I don't know how well that's gonna work. So, let's try this and see what happens. It makes sense, I wasn't getting any color out of here. I can't believe I did that. But live and learn, I guess. That's kind of how it has to go. So let me rig something up here to try and fill this a little bit better. Everything's in such an inconvenient spot. Maybe I can use the seat. You guys can't see anything anyway. So you're gonna not get the best view of me filling, hopefully, the right hole with oil this time. So I just ran up to the Tractor Supply to kind of check in on that. I don't know how much it takes. I'm not gonna go too, well, there is a dipstick on this, at least. And then I definitely need to put some Teflon tape on that bleeder on the other end of the pump as well. But that should be a good start. Nothing? Still nothing on the dipstick. Hopefully this is the right way to do it. I also don't know if this is going to reach deep enough in there. I think it's supposed to take 8 quarts. we got fluid on the stick now. Screw it. We'll fill her up. Kind of confident in this now. I don't know how much oil I actually put in the rear end. That might be bad. But at least I know the trans is good now. And I think, look at that, fluid on the dipstick. That should be helpful. So let's try and fire this up and see if we can get this thing to work again. Hopefully I don't have to re-bleed it since there's already fluid moving through that pump. Just set this guy back in here. That's foolish. I should have known better than that. That was like a rookie mistake. Oh, I turned the gas off again, didn't I? Really should have grabbed some oil dry while I was out. Basically trashed the shop floor just to clean it up again later. But I need this functioning and semi-working because I gotta get that diesel compressor in here again to warm up because we have more gym equipment. Never ends. So, let's see what that does. Control. My battery dead? I leave that key on? Probably. Oh man. Okay, let's get a little jumper, see what we can do here. I left the key on. That was also dumb. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I just left the key in the wrong position. All right. Hopefully this should be the last time of bleeding this little reservoir. Foam and bubbles either, so that's good. Huh, go figure. Put your hydraulic fluid in the right place. And it actually stopped. I need thread sealer on this. I know it's leaking a little bit, but little I can deal with. Now, oh, it actually goes up and down. All the way. Huh. That's me being a dumbass, but eventually we got there. That. It's amazing what hydraulics do when you actually have hydraulic fluid. Can't win them all. Siphon this through one more time. You can see this sweeping a little bit around there, so I think set this back there. Then I can clean up my tools, get this thing out of here. I'll leave it parked outside for the next night, unfortunately, but Not that I want to, but I need to get that diesel compressor in here. And then the only other thing, or I might want to pull the PTO off, or not the PTO, pull the sickle mower off. Because realistically, if I can get one of the trailer hitch mounts for the 3-point, that'll make moving that compressor in and out of here so much easier. It's small enough with the tractor as opposed to a truck where I can back that up through here and kind of park both hitched together. And then pretty much the compressor will just live on the tractor for a while, at least until it warms up again. That'll wrap this one up. Hydraulic pump is working. I'll put the thread sealer on there before I pull this outside. And we should be good to go. Thanks for watching and learning with me on this one. I feel like a huge idiot, but what else can you do? Get your hands dirty, make a giant mess, figure it out from there. Catch you on the next one.